You may not know what that is. But before we get started, I got Captain America coffee cup. I got Sherry coffee. I got J. Lee Bob the Builder cookies. I am ready for a day. Here we go. So, first thing, we take the cookie, we immerse it into the coffee. As you've seen now for several years, the immersion of the cookie. Most people don't know what a minion is. And I don't mean the little guys with the one eye and all that weird cartoon stuff, which I kind of like. Anyway, but when I talk about a minion, the Bible says that there were 10 spies that went to the land and came back with a bad report. Though 12 went into the land, Joshua and Caleb came back with a good report, but 10 came back with a bad report and changed the direction of the entire nation, those 10 men. And though it was a bad thing, the reality is that we believe, Jewish believers, that 10 people can change an entire nation. If I took a Yeshua, he had 10 plus the tithe, one more. And then he added a 12th one after Judas, of course. And he had 12. And those 12 changed the entire planet. I mean, let's face it. You can go anywhere on the planet and you can say Jesus or Yeshua, okay? And everybody knows who you're talking about. So I'm looking for a minion to help me change a little piece of the world. And I think Christmas time is the best time to do it. Now, what the Bible teaches us is that where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, he's there in the midst. And if we can touch upon the same thing, in other words, we can pray together, we touch upon the same thing, he'll give us an answer to our prayer. Now, the giving of the answer, by the way, it's not always necessarily what we want. It's what he wants. But I think that we can form a minion for the purpose of doing exactly what he wants. And that's reaching the world with the good news. So here's how a minion works. The minion gathers together, they agree upon one thing, and they pray about it. I'm looking for 10 people who will pray with me for 10 days. 10 people for 10 days. And then we will also turn around and share our program, this one, with at least one person. We'll put the program on someone else's page, which we have permission to do if you're a friend, and put on our own page, but that one really doesn't count. But put on your page, it'd be even better, as well as the page of a friend. And the idea is we want to reach out. You know, we've, as believers, have become so isolationist. We don't want to hassle with the world. We don't want the world hassling with us. But this is our time. This is our age. We still live in the age of grace. And at the very same time, we still have responsibility to go in all the world and preach the good news to every creature, okay, and tell them the story. We have the commission given on the day of Pentecost, Acts chapter 1, starting verse 8, okay, and verse 2 in chapter 2. We have a commission. But I'm looking for a minion, 10 people who will agree with me, okay, to share this program with one other person on their page. And if you are interested in being part of that minion, you can just simply put in the text box right there. That's on the side. Give me a moment to create a text box I can read. Okay. And let's see. Open chat app. Okay. Almost ready. Okay. I got one person that's already done. I've got one person who's great to be part of our minion. So is there somebody else who'll do it? We just need 10 people who are willing to reach out and share our program. Our, meaning mine and yours, this is us. This is a collective effort to share the program for the sake of reaching others. Now, a minion, like the disciples, are bent on doing, they're driven to do the will of God. And if reaching people is something that's part of your heart, then this could really be a blessing. Not only for them, but also for you and for myself, obviously. So when I say I'm looking for a minion, I really am looking for partners for ministry. With that said, it's time to dip the cookie. Yes, I had a second cookie. You see, there are J. Bob the Builder cookies. And I always say J. cookies, and they're great. But I have to make sure that Bob the Builder gets his portion of the credit. So I've upgraded to 2 cookies. And don't worry, Bob, being a man, yours is the biggest cookie. Well, let me tell you about tonight's program. Tonight's program on Wake Up is different, really different. It's a cooking show, but it's about Hanukkah. I'll tell you the story of Hanukkah and also tell you God's power and ability to deliver his people. It'll be full of scriptures, full of testimony, full of stories. And so if you would, plan on joining us for our first ever Cooking with Casey and the Rabbi. Yes, I gave Casey top billing. Why? Because it's alphabetically correct. So, Cooking with Casey and the Rabbi. And if you would, 6 o'clock right here. And don't forget, you'll be able to text in your questions or messages or whatever on the program live. We'll read them over the air live. And they'll be forever out there in the internet world. Okay. A person says, awesome, I'll be watching. But remember, I'm still looking for 9 more. 9 more who is willing to become a minion with us for reaching the world around us. Imagine if Jesus had had the internet. He could have reached the world in moments, not days and years, but in moments. But he didn't, and we do. And so we carry on the ministry of our Rabbi, Yeshua, and then carrying on that ministry, we proclaim he is Lord, he is King, he's a master universe. And quite frankly, when we look at how many religious people may be Christians or Jews or Messianics, okay, you look at all the different denominations. You're looking at Baptists and Protestants and Catholics and Episcopalians and Lutherans. Okay, we would have a powerful voice if at just one moment, for just one day, we'd all declare that Jesus Christ is Lord. Yeshua HaMashiach Hu Adonai. He's Lord. And all I'm looking for today is 9. 9 people. And when we have our 10, and I'm going to keep this up until we have our 10. When we have our 10, then we will start our 10-day mission of reaching the world. Just 10 days. But we got to have our minion first, or it'll be all broken up. That doesn't work so well. So, hang in there. And when we have our 10, I'll launch the time in which we will already be prepared to begin. So even now, begin to pray, who do I want to reach? And who do I want to reach and blame it on Rabbi Michael in case it's sour or funny or weird? Okay? So, looking for 10. Well, is all your shopping done? Me? I haven't even started. Do you want to be a minion? Here's your opportunity to be the 10 that will change the direction of other people's lives. 10 people for 10 days. That's just a week and a half. What would happen, mathematically speaking, if our 10 reached 10 who reached 10? Can you figure out what it would be? Our 10 would reach 10. That's 10 times 10. Or is it 10 plus 10? Might be 10 plus 10. Plus 20. Anyway, who knows? The idea isn't the numbers. The idea is the kingdom first in everything we do. So, this is the plan. Now, if you're willing to be part of the minion, please put it in the chat box because I'm counting. And right now, we have 1. We need 9 more. Take one of those special spots and join us. So, God is good. Once again, I'm going to tell you about tonight's program. Tonight is the story of Hanukkah and God's power to deliver his people. We'll use text from both the Old Testament and the New Testament. It'll be a cooking show, so make sure you have pen and paper. We'll be putting the ingredients up and offering various suggestions for different type of latkes, which is a form of Jewish potato pancake. Okay? Well, boy, am I out of time already? So, join us tonight at 6 here on Facebook, as well as on YouTube for Wake Up, and we'll see what good things God will show us, teach us, and maybe even help us to taste. So, with that said and done, don't forget to support your church, your parish, your synagogue during the season. Come alongside, join in the work of the ministry. Ask the pastors, the priest, or the rabbi, what can I do to help? And there's no job too lowly or too small that wouldn't be a blessing. So with that said and done, join the minion, hit the like button, hit the share button, kind of get that finger in practice, because we start calling for the minion, 10 days, 10 people. All right? So with that said and done, may God bless you and keep you and cause his face to shine upon you. Until tonight.